Welcome to the new BCMM network. The following podcast is meant solely for the enjoyment and entertainment of our audience. You're watching the all-new Blue Collar Minute Men show. Help us save our nation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blue Collar Minute Men show. We're just a few guys trying to give you the knowledge to help us save the country. Bill, how's it going?
Doing good.
It's been a long week for both of us, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this crazy statue here. Okay.
Well,
It's a devil-looking thing with horns. It looks like it's got porcupine quills all over it. And it's got its thing exposed and hanging down. And that's what they put in the place in New Orleans where it used to be the statue of Robert E. Lee on his horse.
what the crap? Well, folks, before we get fully into this, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, share these videos. Can't really see it.
I'm going to try to get it in there.
Can you screen
Yeah,
share?
go ahead. All right, well, there we go.
What the heck is that?
That is the statue that is in place of Robert E. Lee.
Oh, geez.
Anyway.
But and also, folks, we're back on YouTube. We'll see how long it lasts.
Now, on YouTube, we are under the heading of BCMM USA.
Yes.
But that's how you can find us on YouTube. It's BCMM USA.
We'll see how long it lasts. All right. So, Bill, I got flashbacks and I got goosebumps. Back in, let's see, what was it, 1991, 92, the first dream team of the NBA, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Oh, those were great times.
Kind of reminds you of something, don't it?
Oh, man. The dream team has made a comeback. Who are we talking about, Bill?
Well, a Republican, a moderate, and a bunch of Democrats. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats. A Democrat who has been a lifelong Democrat. His family is famous for being Democrats. And he's now changed sides. That would be none other than Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He has endorsed Donald J. Trump. Now, before you get too happy,
yeah, I know.
Just found this out. You know, he went and tried to take his name off all the ballots in the battleground states so nobody just randomly votes for him and votes for Trump. Well, Michigan and Wisconsin have both denied his request to remove his name from the ballot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So
they're trying hard with everything they got.
Well, we'll get to something else here a little later in the podcast.
Well, we're still going on with the dream team here. We still got some more members.
This is true.
We got Mr. Elon Musk. Now we have Tulsi Gabbard, another Democrat. So we got the makings of a wild group coming up here.
Well, don't forget, Vivek Ramaswamy is in there somewhere.
Yep. Vivek's in there. And then Cornel West, he was also running. He's dropped out. He says Kamala offered him a job if he would drop out and pay off all of the debt from his campaign. But instead,
really?
he dropped out and endorsed Donald J. Trump. So it's, and I seen a poll today that was after all these people announced, that showed Kamala was up by like 4 points, something like that. So I
Right.
immediately went to Rasmussen, which has Trump up by 5 points, I think. So you got to look at the polls they're putting on TV, ladies and gentlemen, because look who's doing them, look where they're doing them, and look at their sampling package and see how many Democrats they're asking, how many Republicans, how many independents.
Exactly.
I mean, if you run a poll, say in California, I don't know though. I've just seen about 20 Trump trains going through California today, so I don't know if it'd be like it used to be. But let's say New York. Well, I don't know. I've seen a couple going through the Bronx too. But anyway, a heavily Democrat area, and you do a poll, you're probably going to get a Democrat in the lead. So,
Well, speaking of which, I also, before we got on the podcast, I saw it was a billboard in California, and it had Donald Trump holding a bag of groceries and Joe Biden holding a bag of groceries. And in big writing on the bag of groceries Trump was had in his hand said $97. On the bag of groceries Biden had, it said $297. So basically, which one do you want to vote for?
yeah, I agree. But then you
here's
say, oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say the thing. I'm excited about this because let's think about it. When in the course of history have you had Democrats turning on the other Democrats basically and endorsing a Republican for president? I don't know of when that's ever really happened in history.
I don't either.
And that should tell everyone they really don't want Kamala to win. Not because she's a woman. Let's get that straight. It's Kamala. Let me say Kamala. Not because she's a woman. Not because she's black, even though she's half Jamaican, half Indian. But it's because their policies are absolute garbage. And they've led us down a road to high inflation. And they're letting all of these illegals in. That is the bottom line.
What I can't understand is how you can be in power for 3.5 years and then all of a sudden come out and say, elect me for 4 more years and I'll fix everything that I just broke. I don't get it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, she is part of the problem.
Yes.
I mean, Joe ain't been running shit, okay? So that means Kamala's been running the show. And you there, Elgin? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
You froze up for a minute.
Sorry.
But Kamala's been running the show, you know, at least on the border and those kind of places. They're trying to hide now. The border's a mess. Did you see California is now giving illegals $150,000 to make a down payment on a home?
Yes.
How about you people? That ticks me off. Okay, they also, in the same article, California is giving free health care to all illegal immigrants. Now, I just spoke to an illegal immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in our job, we cross them every now and then.
Right.
And I was talking to one, and he's kind of upset because they got left out.
What?
Yeah, he's one of the group that was already here that's been migrating from farm to farm, doing farm work all over the country and working their butts off. Well, they're not. See, you had to come across the border in this big surge from the time Biden took over till now to get your name on a roster, and that's when you got the free stuff. The ones that came across earlier and been working, they're mad as hell because they're not getting none of the free stuff.
You can't make this up. I mean, this is the dumbest time in history to be living, I swear.
It's sad.
Well, to kind of go back to that whole thing about giving them $150,000 credit for home loans. I mean, where is this money coming from? I mean, you can't just, here you go.
Especially
And-
California, ain't they always saying they're broke?
Right. And this begs the question, if they could do that, then how important are they telling us as American citizens we are that they're going to do that for them, but they would never do it for you, me, and everybody else?
That's the part that I think is starting to tick some people off.
And listen, we said it before, Bill. This country runs on the middle class and the working man. I don't know. As that old saying goes, you can't get blood out of a turnip. You can't squeeze the working man to the point where he can't survive.
You back him up too far, he's going to be just like a badger. I mean, at some point, you got to, somebody's going to start shooting. I mean, I don't condone it, but it's going to happen. It is going to happen. I mean, they're already preparing for the steal of the election again.
Listen,
as we were talking earlier about not letting RFK off the ballots up there in the northern states, hoping people will vote for him, take votes away from Trump. They've sued a couple of the states that have implemented voter identification laws and stuff. They're being sued because it's unjust. They're suing the countries that have taken dead people off of the rolls, saying that's unjust. Now, okay, how is it unjust to take a dead person off the voter roll? Explain to me how that's unjust.
I don't think the dead person really cares.
You think the dead person is going to show up with an ID and say, "Here, I need to cast my vote"? Probably will. Probably has in the past, you know.
Well, here's the thing too. They don't want IDs, but Bill, if you go get a home loan, don't you have to show Social Security, ID, proof of
unless
work?
you're illegal. Unless you're illegal.
So it's okay for them not to do it, but for you as an American citizen, you've got to have your ID. But when it comes to voting,
let's back this up. Every person who went into the DNC had to show an ID. And did you see? I can't remember what his name was. He found an illegal alien and he took him to the DNC.
right.
So he tried to get him in each gate of the DNC, and he kept getting turned around because the guy didn't have an ID. And the guy's like, but you welcome everyone in. You welcomed him into the country. Now you won't let him into the DNC? You know, I mean, they went all the way around. Oh, you got to have an ID to get in here. But I thought you didn't need an ID to vote. Isn't this a political convention? Why would he need an ID?
Exactly.
It was kind of funny, but they went to every gate around DNC and none of them would let him in.
Speaking of the DNC, you watched part of that, didn't you?
Oh God, that's time of my life I will never get back. The wife and I watched. We watched most of the first night.
Oh.
And it was like. Then we watched the highlights. I mean, we wanted to see the contrast between the RNC and the DNC.
Right.
Believe me, there was contrast. First night of the DNC, I've seen more people at a high school basketball game. I mean, all the delegates were there because they had to be, but there was nobody in the stands. And by the end, and there was one reporter there saying that they brought in buses and unloaded them and filled the stands up. And they were paying these four guys got approached and they were paying them $400 or $150 a piece if they'd go to the DNC. So there you have it.
Jeez. Well,
now,
I did.
It was pretty full the night Obama spoke. They came and worshipped him, but Kamala's speech was horrendous. Okay, Trump goes out there during the RNC, spoke for damn near 2 hours, and laid out everything he's going to do.
Right.
Kamala goes out there, Kamala, and talks about her mom, where she grew up, how poor she was, where she went to school, how she did this. I mean, there was nothing about the economy. There was nothing about the border. It's just, she just sat there and rambled on about her life. She didn't mention Willie Brown, though. I don't know what that was all about, but anyway. She left that chapter out. But that was it. I mean, you came out of there, you don't know what the hell she has planned.
Didn't she have like a best friend from high school speak or something?
Yeah. I think her sister spoke. And, it was, no, I mean, it did not match anywhere close to the RNC. It was horrible.
Well, let's face it, Bill. Once again, the mainstream media is trying to downplay the RNC and they're trying to upsell the DNC.
Yeah.
They're doing everything they can from, cutting time to, talking the best they can. And like you said, now Michigan and everybody is leaving Robert Kennedy on the ballots to try and pull votes away when he's already opted out. Folks, do you see what they're doing? I mean, we're not blowing smoke here.
Okay, one thing about the DNC. They announced on the final night there was going to be a special guest. All right. So they go and leak to TMZ that it's going to be Beyonce. Okay. Then they go and leak to the conservative side that George Bush is going to show up. So, everybody's tuning in to see what the hell's going on. That's to boost the ratings.
Yeah.
And Kamala comes on stage, and everybody knows she's the last speaker. She comes on stage, And the spokesperson for the DNC then tells TMZ and all these other ones, well, Kamala is our special guest. We did have special guests. That's how they drew in all these viewers. Everybody wanted to see what the hell was going on.
Yep, and they kicked the ratings up so that now that it looks like, oh, on this night they had a great night of views.
Yeah.
The propaganda and the BS is killing me. I mean, it really is.
Speaking of propaganda, and what did Zuckerberg do?
Oh my Lord. Listen, if Zuckerberg watches this, we want our page back on Facebook, our original page.
Yep.
He apologized and said he was wrong for everything he did. Oh, well, that makes it
In
better.
writing. In writing, no less.
Mm-hmm. Well, what did that do for any of us who got kicked off of Facebook, had our pages taken down,
and lost everything?
Censored everything? Yes. Oh, but it's okay. He said he's sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Now,
folks.
the one thing I did hear on Kamala's plans, now, and that was another thing that was pointed out during the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody came out there, said they had to take more money from the rich. Oh, the rich, the rich, the rich. Okay, everybody that was saying that was rich. Okay. Yeah. Michelle comes out there and says, everybody's got to give up a piece of the pie so that other people can have. Okay, which one of her 4 mansions is she going to give up?
Exactly.
He, she, whatever it is. But anyway, that'll get kicked off YouTube.
I know. Weren't on there for 24 hours yet.
But anyway, let me rephrase it. But at the same time, they had these boxes up around the arena, you know, with the rich people in it. Looking down on, as they're saying they're going to tax the rich people. Rich people telling poor people they're going to tax the rich people who's paying them to tell the rich. Yeah, it'll make your head hurt trying to figure out where all this money is. But anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay. Then she says one of the ways she's going to ensure she taxes the rich is she's putting a golf tax.
Yes.
A golf tax. Okay. They're going to tax golf balls, tax all golf clubs, golf equipment, tax you for playing the game, tax you for your cart. I'm not one of the rich people. And you and I play golf.
I know it.
Hey, it's going to cost $700-800 to play around the golf. Not just 9 holes.
Oh, geez. Brain power is not her forte, let me tell you. Oh, but to kind of mention this, when you to kind of go back and step on this subject again, you know, about them trying to do everything they can to Trump. Well, guess what? Jack Smith is throwing another indictment out again.
Because he wasn't happy with the Supreme Court's decision. So he's going out and saying, well, none of these actions were during his official duties because the rally he was at wasn't paid for by the government. I don't think that matters. He's still the president.
Right.
Joe hadn't sworn in yet.
No.
So whether if where he's standing was private rally or a government paid rally, he's still being the president. So I don't think it'll go nowhere.
Well, it just kills me that here we go again. I mean, is this not the 25th time, 26th time? Hey, maybe Carl will say they got him this time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My brother doesn't talk to me anymore. Oh, they
It
got him
shows
now.
here. Here's something. This is wow. It says this data is from the official Social Security Administration. This is the amount of people in each state who attempted to register to vote without an ID. They attempted to register to vote without an ID. It was 54,579 in Alabama. I'm just reading some of the big ones here. 1,255,486 in Arizona.
Jeez.
3,108,000 in Texas. Let's go down here. Guess how many in Kentucky?
What?
0.
Oh,
0.
okay.
We had a big goose egg. Us, Delaware, Hawaii, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia and West Virginia, 0. Pennsylvania. I mean, look at these battleground states. Pennsylvania, 1,536,000 attempted to vote or attempted to register without an ID.
Well, of course they're going to do all of that in the battleground states.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they try to win. Well, speaking of another different things that are coming out. Now, this was on CNN, Bill, and CNN is basically saying their title is that there are 10 Senate seats that will most likely flip. And we're not talking flip to Democrat. Let's see. It's kind of a long article and a long read.
Well, you can scroll down and just read the names of the states where they're looking at.
Yeah, basically it says the top 3 states most likely to change hands are going to be West Virginia, Montana, and Ohio.
And those will be going to the Republican from Democrat.
Right.
The only Republican, the only seat they had on there that was in danger was Ted Cruz.
Now, isn't there something going on with him out in Texas, the guy that's running against him?
Well, Ted's up in the polls now, so the Democrats are pumping every dime they got into that race, trying to unseat him.
How in the world do they have any money left is what I want to know.
They're printing it.
Well, yeah.
They're in charge.
Inflation.
Yeah.
They're printing it and we're reaping the benefits.
Yeah. We're at 5.
So anything else there, Bill?
So Tucker says, and we knew when JFK dropped out, they would stop his Secret Service coverage.
Yeah.
But do you know Fauci still has Secret Service protection? I know.
What?
I know. And you failed to mention the Bongino thing.
Yeah. Basically, he just dropped a bomb.
Go ahead with that.
He just dropped a bomb on the committee, basically saying that the CIA has enough money to where they can get any type of technology that they, what they would want, and for the Secret Service, but they were basically duped by a 20-year-old with a $40 drone, and they couldn't So there's more to this whole assassination attempt anyway. And folks, if you didn't know it, it wasn't even the Secret Service who shot and killed the guy. It was the local police.
A local police sniper from Pennsylvania took the shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Secret Service.
So, but is that about all you got there, Bill?
That's about all I've got. Just be watching for some changes. We've got some changes to the website, Facebook, everything
Yes.
coming out. We're back on YouTube for a while. We don't know how long, but yeah. And we'll have more information on the cruise coming up in the next show.
Yes. So, all right. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome back, YouTube. You can catch us now on YouTube, YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. And you can check us out on the X, Instagram, MeWe, Spreely, on our social media. So God bless you all. God bless America. And stay tuned. More BCMM to come. And you all have a blessed and happy evening. Stay safe.
See ya.